Hello, everybody. This is episode 21 of In the Know, my daily short form podcast show, which is aimed at putting people in the know. A show where I cover a variety of topics using my experiences and viewpoints in life to put people in the know. You may ask, what is the know? It's the understanding that seems to be hard for people to grasp, which can make their lives a lot simpler. The following is the intro speech for today's topic, and that introduction speech is as to why college is not relevant work experience. See, most of us go to college and think that if we just go to college, we can walk onto a job and succeed. But the college degree is actually a small aspect of the overall success of the person. Now, there are certain degrees we attain that have more weight than others. But unfortunately, for most people, you really won't be using your college education towards your job. It may make you feel like asking yourself, why did you go to college in the first place? But hopefully, you land on your feet and are able to recoup the amount of money you spent for your degree, because this will be a 4 year experience or even 6 years, including graduate school, which will take a great portion of your life to pay off that college debt. Why college is not relevant work experience? Let's break down each sheet of paper that you attain. Let's look at a diploma, the high school diploma. There used to be a time in America where this was all you needed. You could leave high school and go straight into the workforce. This was during the times of manufacturing in America. It was a time when citizens took pride in purchasing the American made product. That was until things started to move itself overseas. And in that regard, people started to lose out on jobs. So employment became more limited in the manufacturing capacity. This is why the standards of education have changed over the years. Let's look at the next certification, an associate's degree. This is very short term. When you go for your degree here, you're spending a small amount of time in school, usually over the course of a couple of years. With these programs, you're most likely heading to community college, technical schools, or vocational colleges. In some cases, the credits for these programs that you use to attain your associate, you can transfer them toward a bachelor's degree. There are employment opportunities open for this type of degree because the associate programs give you an actual skill that you can be used in society directly. So, with that said, you can say there is some degree of work experience preparation, but not relevant work experience. That is when you go for the full degree in a 4 year program. And what is that? That's the bachelor's degree. When attaining this type of degree, you attend school for 4 years at an accredited university. And while working toward this degree, you're studying more in depth for career interests. The college credits are about 120, and courses are typically taken full time, even though there are a good number of people who attend college part time as well. Now, don't get me wrong, a bachelor's is not relevant work experience either, but it's a more expansive learning environment where you're pulling from a base of more talented young people. And with over 60% of places of employment requiring at least a bachelor's degree, I would say it's pretty necessary. Jobs want to see that you have gone to college and conducted research on your field of interest. Like I said before, not relevant work experience, but you have made yourself ready to step into society with a new base that is an advanced capacity higher than high school. Well, let's look at the master's degree. This is usually a 1 to 3 year opportunity that you're taking on. Here's a place in which I stopped attending school. I went to graduate school and received my MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration. The focus for my MBA was a concentration in management. And what is so great about a master's degree is that you are qualified to teach, because at this level of education, you are still not considered to have gained relevant work experience, but this degree has been known to be paid for by the employer. And when an employer pays for your master's, you have a different value than someone who attains a master's, then goes onto a job. The difference is getting relevant experience while pursuing, and the other is just getting the sheet of paper. Now, people with a bachelor's degree earn on average more than a high school graduate, but a master's earns more on average than both a high school diploma and a bachelor's. Let's look at the last, a PhD. This can be up to 7 years for certain programs. This is a degree that people rarely go into because they attain this for very specific reasons. You usually find physicians and psychiatrists who work to attain their doctorate the most. But there are people who work toward a doctorate degree in other fields. When going for your PhD, the university really wants you to focus on your studies, so they encourage you to not have a place of employment while you work towards your PhD. Yet they do give you a substantial amount of scholarship and grant money to aid you in paying for school and living arrangements. So the work experience has more value with this degree because you're conducting research in a field that will need once you graduate. So this may be the greatest degree related to work experience. Work experience is work experience. Why? Here's why. This is a hard thing for so many students to wrap their minds around. That is the work experience that just is work experience. You have to actually work in the space to gain some credibility in your career field. The degree you attain is the icing on the cake, but the cake is going to be you. There are all types of ingredients to make a good cake. This is something most don't want to hear because in that case, most would think just go to work. Why go to college? Well, because it is still a requirement for so many places of employment. So what do? I'll tell you what you do. Go out and get experience. That brings me to my next thing, independent work experience. Here's what over half of Americans will be doing in the future, and that is going out, making themselves better versions of themselves on their own. And that is what I am in the process of doing right now. I am currently working on freelancing as a photographer, in addition to growing my podcast show that you're currently listening to right now. And it's because of me stepping out on my own, it shows that I have started something in my career interests on my own. Look at some other means of gaining experience. There's internships, which is a professional learning experiences, generally clerical, administrative duties. There's apprenticeships, on-job training program in your career field. You can gain license and certifications. And then there's the fellowships, which are mutual knowledge or practice experiences within groups, some academic, some professional. So with that, I bring it to the end statement. Why we all need relevant work experience in addition to college. All the above I explained is very important and must be thought out when going off to college. Because you have to know that college is not relevant work experience. You need more, no matter what your level of education. This degree you're holding goes to show you have research underneath your belt, but you have to step into the workforce and make yourself be known. So get the requirements, but have more, and the more will aid you in being successful. Your degree should complement what you have worked on in society, not substitute. So, thanks for listening to In the Know, and can't wait to bring the next episode where we talk about why you should not wait until the last minute to do coursework.